Hi, my name is Semaj. I often go by Semaj Creatives. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Philadelphia and I'm a creative director. Honestly, I would say my first creative venture would be dance. I've been dancing since I was like 3. So I feel like that's where that kind of started. And then as far as creative directing, in high school, I just had like this group of friends and we just like to get dressed. Like we never wore a uniform. We would like, it's bad to say, but sometimes we would like maybe skip class and just like find like little cute locations to take pictures, and we would like coordinate sometimes or like spend like an hour downtown trying to find spots to take pictures and edit, like all types of stuff. So I think around that time, I still was unsure what it was that I was doing, but I know that I kind of liked it. And then I saw this collection from Balmain, like, I can't remember what year it was, but the details were crazy. Like, I loved it. I'm like, who did this? So it led me to like looking up who was behind the collection, and I came across their creative director, and I'm like, creative director, what is that? And it kind of seemed like something I was already doing. So I just kind of looked more into it, and I think like by the end of senior year, I was like, yeah, this is kind of what I want to do, and then I just went from there, honestly.
So were you still like dancing at that time when you were like doing all of this?
Yeah, so I was still going to dance school. I was competing and I was a dance major in high school. So honestly, my first choice for college was dance. Like I was like, I'm going to New York, I'm going to be dancing. And I was in New York, I was not in New York for long. Like I had to come back home, it's so expensive. And after that, I kind of just needed a new plan. And I was like, I could still train without paying the cost, and maybe let me just put like creative directing forefront and still just like train in the background. And so that's kind of how that went. And I still dance, not as much as I would like, but I still do dance. I kind of feel like I get a lot of inspiration from a lot of different things. I would definitely say support and Beyonce. Definitely the support, because I think that like you always gotta just like, okay, you gotta bet on yourself, but it does help to kind of have that reassurance and that support and stuff like that. I feel like that carried me a long way, because like I do this full time, so it's hard. But I definitely think with like that support, it allowed me to like venture and like really like dig into what it is that I do. And then Beyonce is just Beyonce. Like I've been loving Beyonce since I was a child. Like, but definitely I would say I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of different people.
Getting into, like you say, you do this full time, which I was wondering about too. Yeah. How did you like? Was that scary? Like just being like, I'm gonna just do this full time, like.
Honestly, it wasn't scary at first. I would say it's scary now.
Okay.
Like at first, no. I don't know. It goes back to that support. Like my mom just really, I don't know if it's just like lessons she's taught or anything, but it didn't feel like anything that was like impossible. Like it just felt like, oh, this is nothing. Like I'm gonna just do this full time, and I just dive right into it. But I feel like maybe now it is a little bit, especially because I'm older. You just get like more responsibilities, and it's just like I'm one of those people. I'm a little stubborn, so I feel like in the back of my head it's like, try to figure out something else, sometimes just to fall back on. But the other part of me is just like, I want to do exactly what I want to do. Like, I love doing this, I want to stick to doing this, and I just want to make it work. I don't really want to have to carve out time and stuff. And that's easier said than done, because that's not like something that people can just up and do. I'm barely doing it sometimes, so yeah.
What do you feel like is the hardest part about like being a creative director full time, just being a creative director in general?
I would say the obvious. It's just financially. Like, it's just that faith, I would say, kind of just like knowing like, okay, you don't have a steady paycheck, so you kind of just gotta be like really smart and just again just like use resources and trying to figure it out. For me, that's like definitely probably the biggest thing because I love money. So like those weeks when it's like slow and stuff like that, it definitely it's hard. But again, that's where you kind of just gotta get creative again, like just figuring out like, especially for me, like if this is what I want to do full time, I just gotta figure out more avenues to kind of just push that, like because people not gonna always need a photo shoot from me. Like you can just go straight to the the photographer and stuff like that, and it definitely increases your cost on what you want to spend for a photo shoot. So I just gotta know like some days or some weeks it's gonna be slow, but I would say definitely financially, and also at this moment really not having a team. Like having a team is really important. Like I don't know, some days I just be thinking like I could just do everything, but no, you really cannot do everything. Like it really helps to have a team and stuff like that, and I don't know, that's really big. It really is big, I would say, for me. I do love working with different people all the time, or just like bringing a whole bunch of people together to like work on a project or just get things done. I'm like big on trying to plug people into different things and stuff like that, but just to have a steady team would definitely just like take you a long way. Like I don't know anybody that's successful that doesn't have a team. No matter how much people, like there's always going to be like a leader most times, and sometimes there's more than one leader, but yeah, everybody has a team. So honestly, get a team. I can't wait. My favorite part when everybody on set just gets it, and the energy is just like crazy. Like especially depending on who you work with. Even though I don't have a steady team, like the team that I put together for that particular shoot, I still just take it very serious. So it's that energy on set. Like it's so many times where it's just like I guess people who just can also put input. Like I know I'm like the director on set, but I love for people to just like put suggestions because I'm one person. So you might see something that I don't and stuff like that, and it's just like that was that magic touch that we needed for that shot. So it's really that, and I don't know, I love being on set though. I really do. Like the process is nice and it's fun. I would say the brainstorming and on set, that's my favorite. So people ask like, where do I get inspiration from? I don't know. But lately I really have been trying to like challenge myself, like just in the way that I think. Cause I'm really like one like just straightforward person. Like I get my hair the same way, I like the same foods, like I'm just like, so I'm trying to really just like change the way I think and just like do my process. But I will say one thing always remains the same. I can't create concepts anywhere but in my bedroom, in my bed. I've tried to come to the studio, I've tried out and about, like I really can't. It has to be like in my bed, and I definitely think writing things out helps a lot. I'll fill up a whole paper, like literally just like somebody else read it probably wouldn't understand what's going on, but like I'll just jot every little detail. I'm big on details, so that's another thing. And I type everything up afterwards, and I'm big on like visuals, and I don't know, like if you've ever seen like anybody who's booked with me and they see like the concept, like the write-up and stuff, it's so detailed. I don't care if it sounds like I'm writing a storybook, like I just want everybody to kind of like place themselves into it and just kind of see how I see it. But yeah, that's my main thing.
Not like you force yourself, but like is there ever a time where you're like, all right, I need to do a shoot, let me think of something right now, or is it like if it comes to you, and that's just kind of how it goes?
Kind of if it comes to me. There's a lot of times where I'll have a booked shoot and I have to get like a concept and stuff, and I had to like even go back on my policy and kind of increase the time that it takes for me to send it back, because sometimes it could be a day or sometimes it could be a week. But I kind of don't like to rush it, because once I got it, and it's good and it'll be detailed and you'll love it. But I try not to really rush it. So sometimes it really do just gotta be like I'll sit down in bed and I'll try to get to it, and I'm like, it's just not coming to me. Like I'm not feeling it, so maybe let me try again in a couple days. And I would like to just kind of do that more often when I don't have a shoot though. I feel like my time frame, that's the details for that. But like as far as just like sometimes just sitting there and creating, I feel like I don't allow myself enough time to just like take a day of just brainstorming, like whatever that looks like, or just getting inspiration and stuff. Like just like listen to music all day. Like you ever seen that post and they're like, sometimes creatives just need time to just sit and do nothing.
Yes.
Like, that's true. That really is true. Or just like block out a day or an hour or two to really just like tap in. Heck yeah, I'm going through that right now. I just feel like what I've been learning lately is to kind of just allow yourself grace. And that's hard because I'll be like, allow myself grace, and then I'll be like, girl, you don't need no grace, you're not going hard enough. So it's definitely, I feel like I'm definitely going through that right now more than anything. But yeah, like sometimes I really do be like, you could have got 50 more things done today, or you could just be doing more in what it is that you're doing, period. And you kind of gotta, like, you really do gotta just like be gentle with yourself sometimes, like, cause everybody else's heart rate just gonna be like on your bag, so you really just gotta like be hard on yourself, but also, you know, lend yourself some kindness sometimes. So I'm definitely learning it. It's hard. There's a rare case of like where I'm out and I really am enjoying myself, and I'm like, you know what, that work
Really?
can't wait. But then there's a lot of times where there's nothing that I'm doing that I can't stop thinking about work. I'm like in the shower, like, I gotta hurry up. Like, I gotta go write this stuff up, or I'm gonna go crazy, like, or like I'm running around and I'm like, this is taking up too much time. Like, I can't even leave the house because I got like 50 things to do, and I need to go back in and just be like, to get in there and half the time procrastinate. Like, it's crazy. Like, the brain is just like. I would say more recently, it was a shoot that I did here. That was like my first time putting a full collaboration together, just like a full team. We called it Michaela after the actual model, and at the time she didn't have an Instagram, so it kind of was just like, ooh, it's Michaela. Like, it just created this like suspense, but it just goes back to that energy. Like, everybody on set, like, down to just like getting everybody here and just everybody playing their parts and just being excited. And you would think like, okay, the person that does hair just might kind of be in the background until we need a comb or something. Like, that's how people might think that it would go. But no, like, everybody was like hands-on, like completely hands-on, and it just felt like trust. We just all felt like one. Like, it didn't feel like this is what you're specifically here for. Like, we just literally felt like one, and it just was like great. And the pictures, I love them. Like, I honestly, I be looking back sometimes and I'm like, this actually was pretty good. Like, and I be wanting to just post it 1,000 times, and I'm like, let me not bring everybody out. But that was definitely a shoot that I loved.
All right, let's get into this one.
Okay. Ooh, okay. That's a good one. So that client was actually from Baltimore. She had reached out to me in like, honestly, like the beginning of April. And we didn't shoot that until August. And if you see, they got like varsity jackets. So it was hot. This probably was like the hottest day in August. I loved the shoot because I really loved the details of it. Again, the team, like, it definitely was fun just picking a bunch of different people that I felt like just had their own personalities but would just like mesh well together. I would say the hardest part about that shoot though was definitely locking in a school, especially in the summertime, because like everybody's out, different schools, they want so many different requirements and stuff. I tried to do my old school and oh my gosh, they wanted, I forget how much they wanted, but it was a lot. That kind of just was one of like the setbacks. That was one of my favorite shots. That was definitely my favorite shots. That was like one thing that I just like saw in my head, and I was like, you gotta do that. And it came out way better than I expected. The photographer is great. And I think it made it even better that she showed up with pink hair, because my client did ask me to find out like how everybody's hair was, and it was one thing that I just didn't do, because I'm like, I don't want somebody to have a hairstyle that she don't want, and then we just gotta like, you know, sometimes you just gotta take the lead on things. And I was like, I'm not gonna ask. And I did not expect her to have pink hair at all, and she did, but it worked for what we were going for, so that was definitely one of my favorite shoots. Okay, that's a good one. That is a client that I've had before. I think Renaissance had just kind of recently came out, and she loved the Renaissance theme, and that was kind of something I really did want to stay away from, because it's just some things you just don't touch. And I felt like Renaissance was too new, like everybody was just hopping on that bandwagon. I'm like, we gotta let it simmer so we could really create some good stuff out of this. So I was like, I kind of don't know, but it just really started off as needing, I think, a horse. And the photographer was like, oh yeah, my uncle he got a farm in his backyard and stuff. And I was like, perfect. And it just kind of went from there. And That we kind of put together in a week. So like all the looks, the entire concept. That's one of those clients that be like, I got the money, but I need this done in like 2 days. And just gotta get it done in 2 days. So that ended up working out, and it was far, somewhere far in Jersey. And everybody was just so patient, and it was great. It was really great. It was fun. I met some people. One guy, I met him on set. One guy called, it was late, and I'm like, they wanted to talk business. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm big. I'm like, I'm chilling, I don't know. But I'm glad I took that call because he really wanted me to do installations for a studio. They were looking for a space, kind of similar to like how Selfie Museum is. And that's really where it started. And it went from us like checking out spaces and going that direction for things, and then just eventually it just being what it is now, just like for everything. And I'm kind of glad we took that route. But so it's me and one other person. We do have like a couple people that come in and help us stuff like this sometimes. But I love it. I do. Like, it's not what I signed up for or thought we would be doing in the beginning at all. Like, I'm thinking I would be doing stuff like this for the space, but I love it, honestly, and I feel like there's so much room to grow, and it's definitely helped me meet so many different people and just, again, inspired and support, and yeah, it's cool. It really is cool. My goal right now is definitely to figure out what else I can do. Like, I style shoots and location scouting and all that stuff, but I want to figure out what I can do with creative directing, if it's just creative directing. Honestly, like, I don't know, like, do I want to do magazines, do I want to do movies, or do I want to get into set design or something like that? That's what I'm really trying to figure out now. So that's my goal. And then I think once I figure that out this year, then I can plan for the next like 5 and figure out how that goes. So I'm stuck. It happens.
It's one step at a time.
Yeah, it is. As far as life, again, allow yourself grace, be patient. As far as other people's work, I would definitely say that everyone's doing really great, I would say. Everyone's doing great in more ways than little. People inspire me all the time. Like, it could just even be how consistently people are posting. I'm just like, dang, like I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get on it. So honestly, I feel like everybody is doing great. And as far as myself and my work, honestly, my hopes for this year is really to just get the word out about the space. Like, I really want this to be a place for everyone. I don't want people to think this is just like some secret group that we got and it's just like exclusive to the people that we know. Like, I'm really trying to push for it to just be for everyone. All creatives, like, literally you can have your own studio, but y'all want to collaborate, like however you want to go about that. That's kind of like my main thing right now. That's really my plan. So